Alright guys, so from this video onwards, we are going to get started with our artificial intelligence section. So artificial intelligence has become a kind of buzzword now, right? Everyone is making the use of AI. You might would have heard about these terms as chat GPT. So chat GPT is one of the most common terminology or one of the most important tool as well you can consider at this point just because by making the use of chat GPT, you can make the things so much easier, right? The time that people are taking to do a thing or to simply complete a thing, if they are taking hours of time, that time they can simply convert it into minutes if they are making the use of chat gpt or any of the AI tool, right? So that's why AI has become a buzzword right now, right? You can simply do the things which you were taking to do it in a kind of hours, you can simply convert it into minutes, right? So that is one of the major reason why AI is so much preferred by the companies nowadays, right? If you are having some knowledge about AI, if you can simply work with these models. So we are having these open source models like Llama 3, you might would have heard of, and there are so many number of models which are being provided by Google as well, which you can work with. You can simply create your own AI models. You can simply work with these open source models. You can make the use of these models so that you can perform data analysis onto your own data set. And one thing you can achieve via making the use of these open source models, and that is you can work with your own data set and you can perform the analysis on your local laptop itself, right? So that the data won't be getting diluted. And that is a kind of functionality that these open source models can provide to you. And there are so many number of things that you might would have heard about, that is AI agents you might would have heard about, which wherein you can simply create a kind of group. So just like in a company, there is going to be a group which is consisting of these multiple members. So each and every single member or the team member from a group is responsible for performing a specific task, right? And then in a kind of collaborative manner, all of these individuals are doing their own work, and then they are making sure that the root work that is there, or the main motto that is there, which is being assigned to the overall group, that complete motto is getting completed, right? Or the complete task is getting completed by the collaboration among these multiple members. So that is something you can achieve via making the use of these AI agents, wherein you can create your own crew, you can create your own AI agents, you can assign these agents a task. So these agents are not exactly like a human being, right? You can simply work with these AI models. To the AI model itself, you can simply assign it a task, and then and you can provide the tools to these agents itself, and then these agents will be working together. They will be collaborating together, and then they will make sure that the complete work which is being assigned to the overall crew, that is getting completed. So all of these functionalities you can have via making the use of AI, right? And you can have these chatbots, you can have these LLM models, LIM models. You might would have heard about Sora, right? And then you can have so many number of multimodals is like a kind of thing right now, right? Everyone is working with these multimodals nowadays. So AI has become a kind of buzzword nowadays, right? Everyone is making the use of AI. So that's why in Power BI as well, it's very important for us to get to know that how exactly we can work with AI, how exactly we can involve AI in Power BI so that we can come up with some deep rooted analysis, right? Some of the deep insights which we were not able to come up with, those important insights we can also look into if we are making the use of AI. So we won't be using our own brain. We won't be exactly, definitely for working with AI, we might need some kind of basic knowledge, but the deep rooted analysis will be done by AI itself. So how exactly that deep rooted analysis will be done by making the use of AI, that we will be looking into from this video onwards. So in this particular video, we are going to look upon anomaly detection, or you can call it as anomaly detection, right? So in machine learning, you might would have heard about these terms as anomaly detection, or you might would have heard about these graphs like a box plot. So box plot is being used to come up with these insights that which all outliers we are having, right? So for example, in your data set, if you are having the insights from a specific company, and that insight or that data set is giving you this idea that what is the salary for all of the employees, right? And now you simply need to come up with the mean value or the average value, and then you can simply come up with the average value of all of these salary so that you can have this insight that what is the average salary of an employee in this company, right? But what if you are having one of the employee's salary in crores, right? So if the employee salary is in crores, and if it is not exactly true, if the salary is coming out to be in lakhs only, and if by mistake the user has entered the salary as in crores for that specific employee, so you can see or you can get this insight that how exactly the average value will be getting retracted, right? Or how exactly that average value will be getting disturbed, you can say, so definitely, if we want to come up with some mathematical calculations or the statistical insights, so in order to come up with these statistical insights or the deep-rooted insight, we need to make sure that there shouldn't be any of the anomaly in your data set. Okay, and just for that, you simply need to figure out that what all anomalies you're having into your data set, and mostly we will be looking into these anomalies into a time series kind of data set itself. So whenever we are working with the time series kind of data, you can simply work with this AI tool or this AI functionality in Power BI, wherein you can simply detect these anomalies which are going to be there into your data set. So this anomaly detection feature in Power BI basically creates these kind of flags. A flag you might would have heard about, red flag and all of these things you might would have heard about, right? So this anomaly detection feature would gonna make sure that some kind of flag will be associated with respect to your graph, and that flag will giving you this insight that with respect to this specific data point, this seems quite unusual, right? It doesn't really seem quite usual kind of data, and that's why we are coming across this flag. And when you click on that flag, you will get to know that the complete insight which is being created by the backend, which is having this AI insights, which will be giving you this complete analysis that why exactly we came across that specific anomaly or that specific outlier. So there is no requirement for you to come up with these to come up with the answer, or if you want to explain to the stakeholder as well or to the executive as well that why exactly we are coming across this anomaly. So there is no need for you to answer out these questions. AI will be doing the complete thing for you. AI will be simply figuring out that what all reasons can be there for getting this anomaly, right? Definitely, you can't completely rely upon the insights which are being provided by AI, but a kind of helping tool you can consider it as, right? So definitely the human intervention will be required whenever you are working with these AI tools, but some basic insight, and in some of the cases it might come out to be absolutely true. Maybe AI can give us the proper insight or the actual reason why we are coming across that anomaly, right? So some things you have to make sure first of all that you need to have a kind of time series kind of data, right, for working with this anomaly detection. And then your data set or your graph should have at least 4 data points, right? So if you whenever you want to work with this anomaly detection feature, you should make sure that at least 4 of the data points you are having, right? If you're not exactly having up to 4 data points, then there is a very low probability of coming across these anomalies, right? Or there is very low probability that you can exactly work with this feature that is there in Power BI, that is anomaly detection. And one more thing about anomaly detection is that you can't actually have this drill up and drill down features. So in the previous videos, in the previous section, we were discussing about these drill up and drill down features so that we can get the insight that what is the revenue we are getting in a specific month or by month trend or by year trend or with respect to week by week trend, whatever insight, right? So whenever you are working with the anomaly detection, you need to make sure that you are not exactly working with year by year approach or month by month approach or week by week approach. Only one of the insight you should look into, right? Only one of the period you have to consider from your side. So either it can be year to year, month to month, or it can be week to week, right? So all of these things you have to make sure whenever you are working with this anomaly detection in Power BI. And now we will be getting started with the practical implementation of our first AI feature, and that is anomaly detection. Okay, so but you can see that onto our overall visual, we are having only this specific visual that is a times that will be helping us out to work with the time series analysis, right? So with respect to my revenue trending only, I will be looking into that how exactly I can come across this revenue trending. So over here itself, you will get to see that we are having this more options. And yeah, one more thing, you have to make sure that there shouldn't be so many number of acts over here, right? Like you can see that we are looking upon the total revenue with respect to start of year as well, then start of quarter, start of month, start of week. So this is something we shouldn't do, right? As we have already discussed that in order to work with anomaly detection, you should make sure that you should really have these multiple values in your x-axis. And there should be only one of the data or one of the feature that you can have on your x-axis itself. And when we are working with start of month, one thing we can make sure from our side that we are getting the proper data with respect to start of month, right? Now, if I'm getting into this, one more thing I need to make sure that I'm not exactly interested in looking into this forecast at this point, right? And whenever you are turning off this forecast, now you can see this option that is find anomalies, right? So this option, you can see that is find anomalies. Now you can simply work with this option so that you can simply make the use of AI in Power BI itself so that you can simply detect that what all anomalies you're having into your data set or into the specific line graph, right? So let me click over here. Let us see what exactly we are getting from Power BI and whether if you're getting any of the markers or not, right? So kind of shaded area is being created, right? You can see that we are having this shaded area. And if I'm just look forward, let us see what exactly we are getting. Okay. So what exactly this anomaly detection is showing us is that if the values, if the values is coming across this specific range that you can see, right? So this shaded area you can see over here, right? So if the value is coming across this specific shaded area, then that specific value won't be considered as a kind of anomaly, right? But this shaded area width you can completely define from your side. So if I want to keep it more wider, that is completely up to me, so that I will be more prone towards the outliers. So even if I'm getting a value to this graph slightly above of this graph, then that specific value will also be considered as an anomaly, just because of this shaded area, or in this shaded area, just because that specific value is not exactly coming up, we are not exactly coming across that value across the shaded area itself. So that's why that specific value will be considered as an anomaly or as an outlier, right? So let me look into this, that how exactly we can work with this find anomalies option. Let me click on more options. You can see now with respect to my formatting. If I'll just scroll down, you can see that we are having at the end find anomalies option, right? Let me scroll down, and now the sensitivity, I'm keeping it as 70%. If I'm keeping the sensitivity as 50%, let us see what exactly we are getting on clicking on apply. So now if the value is coming across, if you're coming across any of the value in between this shaded area, still that value won't be considered as a kind of outlier, right? So that's exactly how you can come up with this sensitivity feature. More will be the sensitivity, more prone we are going to be with respect to these outliers, or more sensitive we are going to be with respect to these outliers. So if I'm keeping the sensitivity up to 90%, the width of this shaded area will decrease. And if I'm getting a value somewhere in over here itself, then that specific value will also be considered as an outlier or as a kind of anomaly itself. Let us look into this. If I'm keeping the sensitivity up to 90%, let me click on apply. Now you can see the width, right? So now if I'm getting any of the value above this graph or above the shaded area, then that specific value will be considered as an anomaly itself. Let us see that if you're getting coming across any of the anomaly. Let me move forward. Let us see if we are getting any of the anomaly. You can simply scroll down. You can simply move forward with this. You can look into this inside, that if you are able to come across any of this flag kind of thing, right? Right now we can't actually see any of the anomaly, right? We can't actually figure out that whether if you're having any of the anomaly or not, just because we are not exactly coming across, let me do one thing over here first of all. Let me click over here. I don't want to involve this on object formatting. And at this point, you can see that we are not exactly getting any of the flag. So how exactly that flag will be shown to you? Let me look upon that as well. So when I will be coming over here, you will get to see a kind of flag kind of option. So this flag can be a kind of marker like a kind of option, right? So if I'm able to get any of the flag like that, then I can simply call it as my anomaly itself. At this point, I can't actually find any of the flag, right? So if you're not exactly coming across any of the flag, that simply means that there is no anomaly that is present in your data. But any of the flag or any of the marker, if you're coming across, then your data set is consisting of the anomaly. And then there is some requirement for data cleaning, right? Let me make some changes. Let us see that if we can find any anomaly. Let me increase the sensitivity. Okay. I have already turned it on. Let me click over here itself. Let me increase the sensitivity up to 99%, right? Let me click on apply. 99% is too much big, right? Let me keep it up to 95%. Okay. A kind of slide kind of graph you can see. Again, we are not exactly coming across any of the anomaly. You can see a kind of shaded area, right? Which is showing us the anomaly. Let us see if you're getting coming across any of the flag. So how exactly that flag will be shown, I will be representing that in front of you. So that anomaly or that flag will be shown like this marker, right? So if you're in your graph, if you're coming across any of this marker kind of option, so you can simply define that how exactly the flag will be shown. So in your graph, if you're coming across any of this marker kind of option, then you can simply look upon that, and then you can simply figure out that what exactly can be the potential reason for coming across that particular anomaly. As soon as you're going to click on that specific anomaly, you will get to see a kind of AI generated kind of content, which will be defining that why exactly we came across that anomaly, right? So let me look upon this information that if I can find out that anomaly or if I can find out the reason or any of the anomaly in the data set. As until now, we are not exactly coming across any of the anomaly, right? You can scroll up, you can basically move the slider, you can see that if you're coming across any of the anomaly. So until now, we can't actually find any of the anomaly, right? Our data seems completely fine. We can't actually find any of the outlier that is present into our data set. Even if I'm keeping the sensitivity as 99%, and then if I'm clicking on apply, then let us see if I'm able to figure out any of the anomaly. So if you're not exactly finding out any anomaly or any outlier, then that is completely fine. That is not a kind of issue. That means your data is completely is a kind of proper data, right? It is being distributed properly, and you can come up with a proper statistical test on your data. That is completely fine if you're not exactly coming across any of the anomaly or any of the flags. So up till now, we can't actually find any of the flag, right? Okay, that's completely fine. So whenever you're coming across any of the anomaly in your own data set, then you can simply go forward with this option, wherein what exactly you can do is that you can simply represent that You can simply click upon that option. You can see that why exactly we are coming across that specific anomaly. One more thing I can do over here, let us just look upon this aspect that with respect to total orders, if I'm coming across any of the anomaly. Let us try it out. Let us see that if we can figure out any of the anomaly at this point. Okay, let me click over here, find anomalies. I want to keep the sensitivity up to 90%. Click on apply. Let us see if at this point I can find out any of the anomaly. Okay, there's an issue over here. Let me fix it out and let us see what we are getting after this. Okay, with respect to my revenue trending, let us see if I'm able to get any of the anomaly at this point. Okay, still in the shaded area, we are getting all of the complete graph, right? Just because the values in the line are under this shaded area itself, that's why we are not able to figure out any of the anomaly. That is completely fine. That is not exactly an issue. Just if we could have find any of the sensitive, if we could have find any of the anomaly, then we might would have shown you that how you can come up with these insights, right? How exactly you can come across these deep insights which are being generated by Power BI AI tool. Because still we are not able to figure out any of the anomaly in our data set, and that is completely fine. There is no issue in that. So if you could have find, if you could actually find any of the anomaly in the data set, you can simply click upon that marker, and then over here itself, you will get to see a kind of AI generated kind of text, right? So that generated kind of text will be giving you this complete insight at why we are coming across that specific anomaly, right? Let us get into start of week as well if we can come across any of the anomaly with respect to start of week. Okay, so you can see that we are not able to figure out any of the anomaly by this point, and if you can find any of this issue in your data set, then definitely you should look upon that data. You should definitely come up with this insight that why exactly we're yeah, at this point you can see, right? Finally with respect to start of quarter we can figure out an anomaly, right? Now you can see that over here itself I am able to see this marker, right? A kind of marker is being created at this point. If I'm clicking on this marker, let me just drag it. So in April 1, 2022, we are coming across this anomaly, right? As soon as I'm going to click on it, now finally we are able to see that why exactly we are coming across this anomaly. Okay, so you can see that now the AI kind of generated kind of content is showing us that the total orders was unexpectedly high on 1st April 2022. It had a value of 6,308, which is above the expected range. So that range was already being defined and coming across this value, which seems quite unusual, right? Just like the example of their salary. So just because this information seemed quite irrelevant, and you can see that we are not exactly having any possible explanation. So you can see that we couldn't find any significant explanation for this anomaly. And what is the major reason behind it? So the major reason behind it is because I don't have added any data in this explain by option. So only when you're going to enter the data in your explain by option, you will get to see that what can be the potential reason for coming across this anomaly, right? So one thing I can do over here, let me add the data with respect to product subcategory. Let us add it and let us see that what AI can show us. As per the product subcategory, what can be the potential reason. Let me add this data and then let me click on apply. Okay. As soon as you're going to click on apply, now we're coming across the reason. Okay, again, with respect to subcategory name as well, we are not able to figure out any reason. Let me add some more data. Let us explore it out. That if AI can generate or AI can help us out in detecting the issue, right? Let me click on apply again. Let us see that at this point, if we are able to come across any reason, again, we are not able to come across any of the reason, right? Okay, that seems completely fine. That doesn't really seem any of the. It doesn't really seem that there's a kind of issue just because of that. Let us look upon some more factors if we can figure out any of the reason. So what exactly you can do is that you can simply put in your multiple columns, right? With respect to the multiple columns, you can see that what can be the potential reason for this. Let me put the data with respect to product lookup and with respect to product cost. Let us see with respect to this if we are able to figure out any reason. Let me click on apply. Still, we are not able to come across any of the potential reason, right? Okay, that seems completely fine. It's not exactly a kind of issue just because in some of the scenarios, AI might not be able to come across with the reason as you need to put in the best column, right? The best column which is giving it insight that what can be the potential reason that we are coming across this specific issue, right? With respect to continent, let me try it out. Okay, again, AI is not able to figure it out. Okay, that is completely fine. That is not an issue. Let me finally enter some other value. Instead of putting total orders on the y-axis, if I'm looking forward to the data as total revenue again with respect to start of quarter, right? Into your y-axis in your add data option itself, let me put total revenue again. And let us see that if we are able to come across any of the anomalies. So on my y-axis, let me enter total revenue. Okay, that is something I'm quite interested in, right? And with respect to total revenue, with respect to start of quarter, let us see that at this point, if we can find out any of the anomaly. So let us click on find anomalies, right? And now let me keep the sensitivity up to 95%. That is again something up to me again. Let me keep it as 98% this time, right? Let me click on apply. Again, we are able to figure out some kind of anomaly, right? On 1st April 2022, again, we are able to come across an anomaly. Let me click over here. Okay, again, it is taking its time to generate the AI content. So you can simply click over here. You can simply work out with the specific option itself, and you will get to see the complete AI generated reason and what is the potential reason for getting this outlier, right? So over here itself, you can see that you were expecting a value to be up till 47 lakhs 78,517 dollars, but the total revenue we are getting at this point is 51 lakhs 23,233 dollars, right? That can be the potential reason, and we can see over here itself with respect to our tooltip only that what is the reason why exactly we are getting this anomaly over here. So with respect to the AI generated content, you can click over here. You will get to see the complete insight which is being generated by AI, and you can simply add the data so that AI will be simply bringing in some more deep insights at why exactly we're coming across this kind of anomaly, right? So definitely you can try it out from your side, and this is going to be our first practical implementation with respect to how exactly we can make the use of AI into Power BI to come up with some deep rooted insights, which we can't exactly figure out on our own, right? I mean, definitely we can figure it out on our own, but in a very short period of time, by making the use of AI, we can come across these deep insights, right? Or we can exactly figure out these anomalies into our data set. But that's exactly how you can work with Power BI. That's exactly how you can work with the anomaly detection feature in Power BI. And we will be continuing this section with respect to some more AI content. That how exactly we can make the use of some of the more AI tools in Power BI itself, right? So let us meet in the next video with some more informative content and our next AI feature which is there in Power BI so that we can again come up with some more informative insights from our reports, right? So that would be all in this video and let us meet in the next video. So thank you.